Okay, I see a bar graph. I'm going to label my bars with the numbers. If you look, you have 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. So each of these lines is 10. So it's a little bit different than what we're used to maybe. Hit pause if you're not done with that. Statement, it says the number of tickets sold on day 2 was half the number of tickets sold on day 1. So how many tickets are sold on day 2? 50. So what I do is I mark this out and I write the number 50. The number of tickets sold on day 2 is 50. 50 is half the number of tickets sold on day 1. Day 1 is 80. So then I reread it. The number of tickets sold on day 2, so 50 was half the number of tickets sold on day 1, 80. 50 was half 80. Is that true? It's false. Why? Because 80 divided by 2 is what? Yeah, 40 is half of 50. I'm sorry, 40 is half of 80, not 50. 50 is too much. So in this spot, you need to write something like half of 80 is blank. 50 is more than half. Something like that. It doesn't have to be exactly like mine. Something like that. Then it says the number of tickets sold on day 5, which I have as 120, was 150% of the number of tickets sold on day 1, which I remember is 80. So for this, I'm going to set up a proportion. Percent over 100, day 5 over day 1. Now if the proportions, if the cross products are equal, my answer is true. So are your cross products equal? Yeah, so it's true. And you could do the same thing for this one up here. If you wanted to see if it was 1/2, you could do 50 over 80 equals 1/2. And then when you find out it doesn't, mark false. That's fine too. Different ways to do it. Chris's family is researching college costs to help him develop a college savings plan. Chris researched the average cost of a year at a public university and sketched a circle graph to show how he might budget his money. Number 1 says, what percentage of the average annual cost is Chris budgeting for transportation? So if it's asking for percentage, that's a proportion. Oh, I don't even have to do that, do I? How much is the whole circle? 100%, right? So I need to know what's left. You're going to add this plus this plus this plus this and subtract from 100%, and you'll have the cost for transportation. In Chris's budget, transportation expenses represent $2,420. What is the average cost of a year at a public university? This is where you have to get creative. So we discovered in problem number 1 that transportation cost was 11%, right? That's what you ended up with up here in number 1. 11% is equal to 2,420. You're looking for the total cost. Solve this proportion and you'll have the total cost. And then number 3 says, how much more money does Chris plan to spend on room, board, transportation, and personal expenses than on tuition fees and books? So, room and board, transportation, and personal expenses tuition and fees and books. So then you have 51% minus 49%. But 2% isn't the same as $2, is it? You're going to have to set that up in a proportion. Where did I get the 22,000 from? Right? So number 1 helped you solve number 2. Number 2 helped you solve number 3.